equations part 2, number 5. If you're on the full practice exam, this is number 30. Now, this one, a little more work here. So what we're going to do, first things first, let's eliminate all subtraction. Let's start with what we know how to do. Oops, that's a W, not an X. Plus -2/5. All right. Now, we have variables on both sides, but we're not going to handle that just yet. We're going to deal with the fractions first, because once we deal with the fractions, we'll have a familiar looking equation to solve. Now, with eliminating our fractions, we want to get rid of our denominators. Okay, this is where we find a magic number to multiply on both sides, and that magic number will eliminate our denominators. Okay, the magic number is very similar to what you choose when you find a common denominator. Our common denominator is like a magic number. Okay, we're looking for a multiple. It's going to be a number bigger than our denominators. So if you were to skip count by 3s and skip count by 5s, when would you come up with the same number? Hopefully you're thinking 15. Which means I'm going to multiply both sides. Use brackets here since there are so many parentheses. I'm going to multiply both sides by 15. Because 15 is a number that's going to eliminate every single denominator there. It's a multiple of 5 and it's a multiple of 3. So we distribute a 15 to everything. So I get 15 times -3w plus 15 times 4/5 equals 15 times 7/3w plus 15 times -2/5. And we just multiply. Now 15 times -3w is going to get me -45w plus. Now don't forget, when we're multiplying fractions, make sure we have fractions and we just multiply across. And then we can simplify. Now if you're comfortable simplifying first, go for it. But I'm going to show you this way just so that I can make sure everybody's covered. So I multiply across, and I multiply across again. And I multiply across again. Then I'm going to simplify. So remember, the whole goal of this crazy multiplication thing is to eliminate our denominators. So that should be happening. You should end up being able to eliminate those denominators. Get -35w plus -6. And now we have an equation to solve. I'm going to rewrite it up here, just so I have room. So at this point, hopefully you're comfortable solving these equations with variables on both sides. If you're not, remember we want the variables on one side, constants on the other side. If you like your variables on the left, move the variable on the right. -35w needs to become 0 so that I eliminate it from that side. So I have to add 35w to both sides. I get -10w plus 12 equals -6. Then now I have a very simple two-step equation to solve. Now I do end up with a fraction, and that's okay, that will happen sometimes. I get w equals 18/10. Remember, negative times a negative is positive. And 18/10 is going to simplify to 9/5. If the directions tell you to simplify your answer, You don't have to make it mixed. It can stay just a fraction, but if there's anything to divide out of both parts, you've got to do that.